welcome back to my channel. This evening I'm going to be doing a colour and chat with the new Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara McOver. I did say in my flip through that I was going to do a colour and chat. I have already started the picture. I started it last night. I really couldn't wait. I have picked a double page and I'm just working on the pumpkins. So this is the page what I've picked. And I'm just trying to take it one section at a time because, you know, stuff like this takes me forever. And so I'm working on this page. I am using my Prismas. And I'm going to put this paper behind just so I don't get any imprints. And the colours what I'm using, I am using the green ochre, mineral orange, cadmium orange, orange, Spanish yellow, and then what have I got now? I've got some burnt ochre just to add bits of deeper colours, you know, towards the end. And I might, well, I probably will go in with the black. We'll see how we go. Now what I'm going to do is I've got my overhead desk lamp here, and when I shine it on here, it will, you might see some of this wax glare because I am using Prismacolors, and they do tend to do that. But what I always do, I always end up, after I've finished my picture, I just get like a tissue, toilet, you know, tissue paper, and wipe over the whole thing, and it takes away the smudginess of the wax glare and it leaves it shiny. But if you see there, that's the wax glare what I'm talking about. But once you've gone over it with tissue, that will remove it. I'm just going to leave it around there. I think that's, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I've gone over here, these darker areas with the green ochre. I'm now using the mineral orange just to go over the green ochre and all my darker areas. And I've decided to do this pumpkin first as well because it's right to the edge of the page, but the actual image doesn't go in the spine. If you look, it comes quite close, but it doesn't. So with it being a new book, you might have to flatten it down a bit, as you do all books. Yeah, so I haven't had time to actually do many videos, so I do apologise for that. I've managed to do the flip through of this book, and I have actually just filmed the Colouring Haven subscription flip through, and you probably will be seeing that before you see this video. And then I've decided you know, to sit down and do more of a relaxing colour and chat video. I just thought it'd be fun, especially with this new book. But yeah, I've been really busy and I haven't had time to film out, so I do apologise. So I don't want too much of this colour down because I've got quite a few other colours that I want to put in mix. Yeah, I wanted to use Prismacolors for this picture because I do really love my Prismacolors. I love the colour combinations of them because I have been using them longest, and I have got really fond of the colour palette of Prismacolors. And they work really nice in this paper as well. It's going to take me a long time to do this picture. Definitely. It's quite busy, a really busy page, but I absolutely love it. I haven't really been doing much neither this month. I was supposed to be going to a workout class. I did say to my partner once I had a bit of spare time I was going to go to workout class with him, and I even joined his gym, so I've paid for it. And where my area is now, it is really bad. With the with the virus situation, it is not very good. It's like my local hospital's really bad with it, and all nurses have been really struggling. They've had quite a lot of people go in there, and it's got on top of everything. And I'm worried because I don't want to pick it up because it is local. So it doesn't matter where I go. I am in a high area, and I know a lot of people are in a high area. But it just seems to be really bad because where I live as well, it isn't really big. I mean, the town is a borough, but there is a lot more larger places than where we live. So it is really, worrying. So I just thought I'm going to do a colouring chart and try to be a bit more positive and relax in my spare time sort of thing. See how it goes. So I'm just going to put this pumpkin orange all the way around this dark area and fetch some of it down here. And it's also my dad's birthday as well next week. I think it's Monday, so I need to go shopping. I think I'm going to maybe get him a cake and a gift because he does love chocolate. He's like me, he's a chocolate lover. And I hope everybody's doing well anyway. Right, I'm going to come in with the next colour now. This is a dark colour as well, so I don't want a lot of this colour down because it is pretty similar to the mineral orange what I've put down. And I always go over everything when I go down with my lighter colour because I use it as a blender. And I'm just tapering my pressure off as well on my pencil when I'm coming to the white, just so I can get them lighter colours down. I do find though with Prismacolors you can blend them pretty well. You can get away with the Prismacolors a bit more than you can with hard pencils, definitely. But I love these. I think they're so cute with the face that they've got in the middle at pumpkins. I really like them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase that little bit what I've just put here. And I'm going to move this light. That's it. So this is what I mean by the wax glare. You can see it all here once you put it to direct light, but once you've you know wiped it with that tissue, it gets rid of all these like streaks what you can see. That's a bit better. So I'm not using a lot of this colour either because I'm just using it like a transition colour for now. And I'm going to kind of make a shape here because this is where the lightest colour is going to be. So as you can see, I'm not doing much blending at this point. I'm just getting it where I want my shape to be. I have actually been doing a diamond painting as well. What I got it from Victoria's. Is it Victoria's Moon? And it's a really big one. It's a 60 by 60. And when I first got it, I had a bit of an hiccup because I actually stuck my inventory sheet right on the adhesive before I'd put any diamonds down at all. So before I got any drills down, I got paper stuck all down to it, and it was a really big section as well, and I was panicking. I was like, oh no, you know, because I'd just paid, I think it cost me and my partner, we went halves on it because we're going to put it up on our living room wall, and it's a really nice picture of a lion, and it cost just under, I think it were about just under £50. So you could imagine, after opening it, to then end up with the inventory sheet stuck on it, and I was just absolutely panicking. I did end up getting a wet cloth and wiping over it. I managed to get the paper off, and then it lost all its stickiness on the adhesive, but the area was quite large, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to save it. And I managed to save it with double-sided sticky tape, and it worked a treat. And I've been working on the diamond painting, but because it's with my time and everything, and I've been quite busy in my personal, you know, with my personal time, I've been really busy, so I haven't been able to do it every day. But when I finished it, I'm probably gonna, you'll end up seeing it in one of my finished pages. Or I might end up doing a kind of like a colour and chat, but drill and chat. I don't know whether I'm going to do that on my channel or not. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a think about it. But if you are interested in out like that, if you just drop me a comment, because I don't know whether I've got anyone that actually likes doing diamond paintings. I know I've got a couple people who are subscribed, but I don't want to put them videos out there if nobody's going to be interested in them. Right, so now I'm going to come in with my lightest colour, which is the Spanish, not the Spanish orange, sorry, it's actually the Sunburst orange. For some reason I thought it was Spanish. I'm just going to sharpen that. Now with this as well, what I do is I start to blend over all the colours what I've put down to get rid of any white spaces what's left in paper. But I'm not going too heavy-handed because I still want to layer some colours up afterwards, because I'm probably going to go in with the brown and the black and deepen up areas where I think it'd look better. So that's all I'm doing at the minute, is just smoothing out everything. I've got a little bit of a line here. I'm just going to smooth that out. So we've not got like a big prominent orange line where we're going into the sunburst yellow. And then I just go over there. So I've kind of made like a little face and give it a little bit of an highlight in places. I think it's really cute, the pumpkins with faces in. Yeah, really cute. I don't know if I want to go over these or, you know, the smaller ones. Like, I'm just going to move the page to show you. Like the smaller ones with the Glossier Scents or a clear jelly roll, just to make them look a bit more shiny. I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to do that yet though. I'll have to see how it pans out when I've finished. I normally do my embellishments when I finish the colouring. I have actually put some of the Pantel Duo on this little sweet here, and it's really shiny. If you do want any full colour alongs in this book, just let me know in comments. I might do a couple of colouring chats for this page. I'll just have to see how it goes. So just here, where that orange is, I'm going to just get rid of that harsh line. So I'm going in with, let's have a look what colour I want to go in with. Yeah, I'm just going to go in with the orange and just slightly fetch it into that yellow, so we're blending out that line a bit. Back over this area. So I'm going back to the Starburst. I have put some yellow down here as well because I am going to create like a light sauce. So I did want them to be really highlighted here because we've got a candle there, if you can see that. So I'm maybe not going to put black at this bottom corner, whereas normally I would, but I'm going to make this area a little bit darker than this bottom area because it's where that candle is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going in with my green ochre and I'm just going to sharpen it because it's a bit blunt. Just to give it a bit of shading. I'm just going to take that Starburst and go over all this mouth area as well. Inside of the eyes, I'm not leaving them white. I might do something later with a Posca pen. Now I'm just thinking, I think I'm going to take the burnt ochre now. So we've got the brown. Actually, go with the mineral orange first. So let's get the orange colour. So I'm just looking at it where I really want my darkest areas to be, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just going to add a little bit more orange up here as well, just to get rid of that line a bit. Now what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to grab my black and put a little bit of black into it, just to give it that little bit more of a deeper look like we've got here. So I'm just getting my pencil case. Right, so I've got my black. With this black, I am not going heavy at all because I don't want to completely ruin the pumpkin. It doesn't need to be a really hard pressure neither. And you can blend this in as well in your darker areas with that brown ochre. Just fetches orange up. Do you know, I use the black to do this with a lot of my colouring. I rather use darker browns or blacks to do this. And I do think that by adding black to stuff really pops the colours out. That's just in my opinion anyway. But like here, you see, it just fetches the orange out. So where we've got these darker areas, so I'm going to put some running up the outer edge. I'm going to leave a gap in the middle because he is kind of facing that moon there. And I'm thinking of doing that in some like goldenrods, creams and jasmine colours in the moon. I'll just zoom you out so you can see what I'm talking about. I am talking about this moon here. But apart from, yeah, just apart from me being busy, I've had to go to my mum's and that in my spare time as well, because I bought my dad a fire stick for Christmas and I've given it him early, so they've got something to watch because they're obviously old age, you know, they're in the old age pension years, and I've bought them a fire stick and I've had to go around there because they're my bubble. I only go to this house, to their house. They don't have anyone else apart from me going in there. My partner doesn't go in, it's just me. And I have to do most of the internet shopping, out like that. And I've been trying to teach him how to navigate this fire stick, and it's been a nightmare because I've told him a couple of times now how to do it and they forgot. But I think they're just getting hang of it. But I have got loads of colouring that I still need to do. I did start the Tamed Wildness on my channel, and I think I'm going to have to finish that in a time-lapse video and do it that way. So with this brown, I'm just going over the edges where the black comes into the middle. Yeah, I'm going to leave this kind of light at the bottom here where these mushrooms are. And that's it, that's all I'm doing for this pumpkin. And now I'm going to go to the top. So we've got the little root coming out here. Just going to zoom you in. Can you see that? Just pull it down a bit more so you can see that area where I'm working on. Right, what colours do I want? I think I'm going to go with the green ochre. Yeah, I did say that this month I wasn't going to be buying any more colouring stuff. And then I found out that this book were coming out and I had to have it. I've got, you know, the others. I actually haven't got the first book and I'm really wanting that one. But yeah, I've ended up ordering this book. I then ended up getting a, you know, subscription to the Colouring Haven. And I have actually, what else have I bought? I've bought some more acrylic paints and some bits and bobs. I think I've ordered a clear jelly roll pen. I'm waiting for that to come. So I've actually completely gone against my own word. Yeah, definitely. And gone and ordered stuff and I really shouldn't have. But I think this book, the last 2 issues, my mum and dad bought me in for my birthday because I have my birthday's in November. But this year I didn't really ask them, you know, because everything now, it's harder to ship things to UK, or so it's all gone up on it, and I didn't want them spending a fortune. So I've just ended up buying it myself this year. Yeah, I didn't want them spending that much on me just for my birthday. So just doing the same thing, taking the green ochre. So here we've got the other 2 pumpkins covering this area up, so this is going to be pretty dark, I should imagine. And then I'm going to make this area a bit lighter because coming from that moon. So just this corner here. So I'm just going to start to put this green ochre where I want it. I have got to finish her feet as well and the frill, but I just haven't decided what colour I'm doing that yet. I love this as well. I'll just zoom you out. I really, really like this. We've got this gorgeous ghost here. That's going to be really fun to do. I'm going to have to make it look white, so I'm probably going to colour the sky and then maybe just put some white paint or something over the top of it. We'll see. Maybe Posca it out, I don't know yet, but I think it's adorable. Right, so I'm just going to put some around here, just at the top. And then I'm going to put some of that Starburst because I want this to be light. So I'm just going to put that colour in where I want it to be light. And I think maybe that might be lighter towards top. So I've just switched there to my Cadman, is it Cadman? no, mineral, sorry. So I've just switched to my mineral orange. And then I'm just going through my colours from dark to lightest, just till I fetch it lighter up here. That's it. Yeah, so I'm going to go in with the mineral orange again. And then start to go over where I've put the green ochre down, but at the bottom I want to leave it green ochre, so I'm only doing it halfway up from the bottom where that shadow is. Because I will be going back over with that green ochre to blend that bit out. Let's have a look. Yep, at the side of here. So I'm just going over where I've put that green ochre. And then I want this top as well, so I want it all around the top. Just going to put a little bit in that bottom corner. I was thinking as well whether I wanted to do this picture like I did my Halloween colour along. I was going to do it with time lapse and then me speaking over it, and I would have done it in parts, but to be honest I didn't know whether I would have enough time filming it, so I thought I'd just end up doing a colouring chart, and I hadn't done one in a while. You'll have to let me know in comments what videos you prefer. I know a lot of people like that one, so I probably will do another one similar to that. But I'd probably pick a more of a simple page than what I'm doing now to do it as well, because what I did with that one is I filmed it in different parts. I didn't sit down to do the whole thing, so I filmed it, and each time I filmed it I edited it so I knew what pencils and that I used. So I did the voiceover, and then I just filmed the second part and then edited it, and then added it, you know, like added it all together. And it were a lot easier to do it that way. So yeah, I'm going to go back with that green ochre a bit and put some just around here. I haven't really been that busy, what I can really talk about on here, because I have got stuff that I do, obviously I don't mention on here. But I have been reading in my spare time the new book by Stephenie Meyer. I think it's The Midnight Sun. Years ago, when them books first come out, I used to read them, you know, the Twilight books. And I read them all, and I used to like them. I used to like them when they first came out. And this one, it's Twilight, but in Edward's perspective. And I just can't, I'm halfway through it, because I've been reading it before I go to bed on a night time. It's only a chance to get to read it. And plus it helps me relax to get to sleep, because I don't sleep very well. So I've been reading that, and I honestly I just can't get into it as much. I'm not really enjoying it. I am carrying on reading it because I have bought it. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not terrible. It's just kind of not interesting me, like when I normally read a book and I can't wait to know what's going to happen. It's not really gripping me like that. Which is a bit of a bummer. But I do like reading on the night time. Maybe it's because I've been reading the same series, she's had a load of different books in the same series of Cassandra, is it Cassandra Clare? And I've read a lot of her books, and maybe it's to do with that I can't just, it seems to be a bit, you know, not getting into it. Maybe it's because I've been reading her style since March, really. I've been reading her style of books, so maybe it's just that. But yeah, I'm really struggling with it. But I will continue to read it until I finish it. There is some parts that I do like. Right, I haven't been blending it properly just yet. Just like before, I will do that with my lighter colour. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this, what we got now, cadmium orange. And this is a pretty much a dark colour, so I'm not going to put too much of it down. And I really loosen off the pressure when I go to highlight as well, because it does leave like a line when I go to blend that other colour down. I'm just going to put a bit of this colour around there. I am going to make it highlighted like before. Now I've put that down, I'm just going to go to the orange. Now with this orange, I'm just going over everything where I've already put the colour down just to do my blending. So I'm just smoothing out any white areas that need doing. I'm not putting too much of a really hard pressure on like I didn't before, because I want to get some colour over the top. I'm just going to move this orange further down into the green ochre at the bottom. And I'm going to put some around here, just at the top. If you notice, I do smudge a lot, but I will just fix that off screen. I might end up doing some more colouring chats with this, or I might do a, I might do a time-lapse video. We'll just have to see how it goes. I might try one to do the rest of this picture, see how much time I have in my spare time, and see how it goes. So I'm just blending my colours out on this side. And just adding a bit of this orange. That's it. There. And I'm just fetching it out a bit on this large area here. And then I can go in with that lightest colour. I will try not to make the colour of the pumpkins all the exact same. Like these ones I've made a lot darker. It is quite darker with black. I've only put a little bit of black in there. I did use a lot more black. So I have just, I was going to do them a completely different colour, but then I decided against it. So I'm going to come in with the Sunburst Yellow. Now I'm just filling up all the highlighted area. And I do have to put a bit more pressure when I do this with lighter area, because I have to blend any of them, you know, lines out from the other colour. I'm just blending it out. Sorry if I'm being quiet in this bit. Now with this as well, I'm just going to fill in that area there. Now I've got that down, I'm just going to come straight in with the brown this time instead of the ochre colour. And I'm going to deepen, really deepen the areas where I've put that green ochre. And then I'm going to come off the pressure as I'm going into the orange. And then we're going to go over with the black. This paper as well does take the layers. It's really good for it. It's not bitting the paper whatsoever. It's not, you know, it's really good. I don't know if you can see that, but that is my pencils, because I am using Prismacolors, and they do tend to really crumble when you put an hard pressure down. So what I'm going to do is come in with the black now and darken that up. And I think my black also's on its last legs. I have got a spare one. I think I've actually got two. I think I've got a 3/4 one, not 3/4 one. Is it? Yeah, I think I have got a black that I've used a little bit, and then I've got a full black. I do like to keep a lot of my favourite colours in a tin, so I've got spares. If I run down on my colour, I always buy, you know, if my pencil gets even the slightest bit short, I end up buying them. So then I know I've got that spare pencil. Because I do use my Prismacolors a lot. I have been having a break though. I've been using the Arteezas, and I've been using the Polychromos for the Wildness, Tame Wildness picture. So I have had a break from them. But I do love using these, and I've got the Lumis as well, and I actually haven't been using them. I think I'm waiting to get all my colours before I start to use them. But I should have some more towards end of this Christmas of them anyway. So I'm just going to fetch this black just to round out, you know, the top bits of the pumpkin. Not a lot around this area. I'm going to leave the outer edges of this little bit where that light's hitting it. Because I would imagine some of this light had hit that side. So I'm just going to blend that over last with the brown as well. And then I'm going to fetch some up here, and I'm going to leave this a little bit free of the black just in the middle. So if you do go a bit harder than intended, you can always use your brown to blend that out anyway, to, you know, to blend the black out. I'm just running some up the edge of here on the outside of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to put some really lightly just up at the side of this coffin where pumpkin meets the coffin. And then I'm going to use my brown just to smooth it out a bit. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how them pumpkins look. Yeah, definitely. And what I will do is I will get my Posca pen and dot the eyes, and I might run a little streak through the highlights just to make it look a little bit brighter. I don't know whether I'm going to make the pumpkins 3D. It might be a bit too much. I might see what it looks like with a clear, you know, Sakura jelly roll. I've never used it before, and I've got one coming in post. I know if I did put the glossier scents on them, they would really look 3D. I think you'd get away with it with the, you know, the Licola pumpkins, but I'll just have to see. I'll see. So I'm just going to do this area, just this bit here. So again, I'm going to go with the green ochre. And just use the lines what are already in the picture. Then I'm going to take the brown, so the burnt ochre, and go over all that green ochre what I've just put in. And as you can see, I spend a lot less time on these. It's only a small area. And then I'm going to come in with the mineral orange and leave an highlight. So I'm just leaving bits of an highlight. And then coming in with that starburst. I really should get a makeup brush to waft my crumbs away. I should have really got one before I started this video because they are really crumbly. So what I'm going to do now is come in with my black, and all as I'm doing, you can see the lines what are already in the wood, and I'm just deepening them up with this black. Just to make it look a little bit different than that. That one's a lot more messy, a bit more of a deeper brown, just to give him a bit, you know, a bit of a different colour. And then some at the bottom, just where the root attaches to the pumpkin. Right, that's all I'm going to do in this video because I don't want the video to be overly long. I think if I do another colour along, I'll probably, not colour along, sorry, colour and chat. I probably will make it into a time lapse because it's going to be a lot easier. And thank you for watching, and I shall see you all soon.